We all dream of traveling the stars, but what does heading out into the cosmos actually do to us? Today, we're going to look at the truly shocking and extreme transformations our bodies go through the second we leave Earth.
And let's just get one thing straight right from the get-go. Our bodies, they were absolutely not designed for this.
So what really goes down when we push the human body to its absolute limits, when we throw it into the completely alien environment of space? Let's find out.
Okay, so the moment you hit zero gravity, those first few hours are a pretty violent shock to your system. Your body's internal compass, the one you've trusted your whole life to tell you which way is up, it suddenly gets thrown into total chaos.
There's actually a name for this whole mess: space adaptation syndrome. Basically, it's your brain having a complete meltdown because gravity just switched off. Your eyes are telling you one thing, but your inner ear, which controls your balance, is screaming something totally different.
And get this, it's not some rare thing. A staggering 80% of astronauts get hit with this during their first few days. We're talking nausea, really bad dizziness, and headaches. It's a brutal welcome to being weightless.
All right, moving on from feeling sick, we get to one of the most visible and, frankly, one of the weirdest effects of microgravity. And astronauts have the perfect name for it.
Yep, puffy head, bird legs. See, on Earth, gravity is constantly pulling about 2 liters of fluid down into your legs. But in space, that fluid is free to go wherever it wants.
And guess where it goes? Straight up. Don't just take my word for it. Listen to how astronaut Randy Bresnik put it. He said that fluid floats up and makes your head really, really puffy, really uncomfortable. It's like hanging upside down for days.
So here's the simple breakdown. On Earth, gravity keeps that fluid in your legs. In space, it just redistributes everywhere, which is why astronauts get those puffy faces and stuffy noses while their legs get super skinny.
Now, once that initial shock is over, the body starts a much slower, kind of sneakier process. Without the constant pull of gravity, it just starts to break itself down.
And this decay happens shockingly fast. In just 5 to 11 days, an astronaut can lose up to 20% of their muscle mass. The big muscles in their legs and back that are always working against gravity on Earth, they just start to waste away.
And it's not just the muscles. Oh no, your skeleton starts to go too. Astronauts lose about 1 to 1.5% of their bone density every single month.
To really put that into perspective for you, a person on Earth with osteoporosis loses about 1.5% of their bone density in an entire year. An astronaut loses that much every single month. That's a rate of decay more than 10 times faster. It seriously increases their risk of fractures. Now, just think about what that means for a years-long mission to Mars. This is one of the biggest challenges for the future of space travel.
So how do you even begin to fight that? Well, there's an ironclad rule up there: a strict 2-hour exercise routine every single day. They use special treadmills and resistance machines that simulate weightlifting, anything to force their muscles and bones to work and just try to slow down that decay.
But, it's not just the physical stuff you can feel right away. For astronauts on these long missions, there are these constant, invisible threats that can have devastating consequences even long after they're back home.
The biggest one is space radiation. Here on Earth, we live under this protective bubble of our atmosphere and magnetic field. In space, that shield is just gone. Astronauts are getting blasted by high-energy particles that can literally shred their DNA, which seriously increases their lifetime risk of cancer and heart disease.
And we can't forget about the mind. Just imagine being stuck in a tiny can, millions of miles away from every single person you know and love. The isolation is just huge. Plus, because they're orbiting the Earth so fast, they see 16 sunrises and sunsets a day, which completely shatters any normal sense of a sleep cycle.
So you'd think that landing back on Earth would be the finish line, right? Not even close. For a lot of astronauts, the real fight to get their own body back is just beginning.
After months of being weightless, gravity is a brutal shock all over again. Astronauts often can't even stand up without fainting. Their balance is completely shot. They have to go through this long, grueling rehab process just to rebuild their muscles. And the really scary part? Some of that bone density they lost, well, it might never come back.
All of this just proves how incredibly resilient the human body is. We can survive in space, but it really leaves you with this one big question. As we're setting our sights on Mars and even further, were we ever really meant to leave Earth for good?